welcome back. It's Kayla, also known as Weight Loss Barbie. I wanted to share my story about my sleeve surgery, where I went to get it done, the doctor I used, and my whole experience, and how absolutely magical it was. So, as you can see by the title, I had weight loss surgery in Mexico. Not just Mexico, but Tijuana, Mexico. And let me tell you why. I live in Las Vegas. I had looked around for a few surgeons in town. I had a consultation with one. I was going to be a cash patient, and it was very rushed. It was rush. Do you have any questions for the surgeon? Here's a surgeon. Surgeon was like, I just got a vibe. I didn't feel good about him. Not that I didn't feel good about him, but you kind of come across as ignorant, and I don't know, I'm all about like happiness and kindness, and he just was just like, any questions, what do you want to know, da da da, and I was like, I want to get excited about this, you're not making me excited. Then I ended up exploring going through insurance, because I didn't have insurance at the time. Then I ended up getting insurance, so I thought, okay, now I have insurance, let me see if my insurance will cover it. I mean, I'm sure it will. My BMI is 60, 61, 62, whatever it was. So I contacted them back, said, hey, I have insurance now. Can I proceed with the, go ahead and see what I need to do? No, you have to come in and pay another $150 for a consultation. I said, but I've already had one. Anyways, long story short, didn't get a good vibe, so I went to another place in Vegas. Attended like a 3-hour seminar, all of it which I already knew because I had researched the sleeve surgery, and I knew I wanted it, I knew I needed it. So I sat through that seminar, put my name down, and it was kind of like a, don't call us, we'll call you. And I'm like, well, I'm ready to book, so I'm ready to get this process started. And I know that it was going to be a process because with insurance, I think it was going to be like a year from start to finish. Well, I didn't hear from them. Weeks passed. I kept calling, didn't hear anything back. So I'm like, you know what? Let me look for another surgeon. And I kept researching best bariatric surgeons, West Coast. And then one name kept popping up, and his name was Dr. Elias Ortiz. Kept seeing it, so I'm like, you know what, let me click on it, and it says in Mexico. I'm like, oh, great, Mexico. I didn't think Tijuana. I just thought, wow, Mexico, I don't want to travel. And then obviously you always hear horror stories about Mexico, but I never cared. So I thought, let me look into it, and then I looked into it, and he was in Tijuana, and I thought, wow, I just got to drive to San Diego. That's easy. And then I found the support group on Facebook. At the time, the company was called Me. They've since changed their name, and it's called EOC, Elias Ortiz and Company. So I found them on Facebook, and then I reached out to a coordinator, and her name was Sheila, and she's still with the company, and she was amazing. And then I thought, well, if I'm looking into Mexico, let me see if there's any other surgeons. And I did. I went on YouTube to look up if anyone else had surgery in Mexico, and I found another place also. And to this day, I couldn't tell you the name, but I did call them, and didn't get a good response over the phone either. It was like, yeah, we've got a wait list. Basically, you either want it or you don't. And I'm just like, I mean, they look good. And then when I got in touch with Sheila from EOC, that phone call changed my opinion. It was a no-brainer. I have to go with EOC. It was a 45-minute phone call with Sheila, and she just put my mind at ease. She was amazing. She said, I've had surgery, my daughters have had surgery, Dr. Ortiz is amazing. Like, if he was, a general practitioner, I would have him as my everyday doctor. Like, I love him that much. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was just, I didn't know anything I knew all about surgery, but I didn't know about the process. So what's the process? So basically, what it was you go to San Diego airport, whether you fly, for me I drove, and then they have a bus driver come pick you up, and they take you over the border to Mexico. Once you're over the border, they take you to the hospital where you sign in, and you get all your blood work and your EKG, and you get all that done. And then you stay, sorry, I have a hair somewhere, I can feel it. So you stay in a 5-star hotel, and then the next day was surgery. You stay in the hospital for a day or two, and then you go and you recover in the hotel room, but they have like a hospital ward, like a recovery floor, I should say, where they have nurses coming to check on you. So once she explained all that to me, I thought, wow, this is actually going to be quite an experience. It's not just the in and out. The ones in Vegas were like, you're in, you're out that day, like, see you later. So I thought, it's going to be fun. If I'm going to do it, I want to have fun, right? So I hadn't weighed myself for many years. I couldn't even tell you what I weighed. Sheila said, what do you weigh? I can tell you when you need to start your pre-op diet, this and that, because that was the other thing. I'm like, I don't want to wait a year. Like, what's the waiting? And she said, depends on your BMI. If you have, under whatever it was, it's a 2-week pre-op diet. But if you're over, it's like, I think mine was like a 5 or 6 week pre-op diet. So I said, you know what, Sheila, I will find out my weight and I'll let you know. Found out my weight, found out my BMI. I needed to do a 6-week pre-op diet. So when I called Sheila, she said, I can get you in 6 weeks if you want. You start your pre-op diet today. And I think it was about noon. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm starting. So I started that day. I was like, I didn't even have like a last goodbye meal. I didn't have anything like that. I just woke up and I thought, oh my gosh, this is happening. So I went to Walmart. I brought myself a big water flask. I brought myself protein. She sent me the diet that I needed to be on. And the pre-op diet I did for 5-6 weeks was basically 1 piece of protein, a shake, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly, but I followed that every single day, and it's to reduce the size of your liver, because during surgery your liver gets lifted so they can get to your stomach, and I wasn't going all the way there and being on the operating table and them not being able to perform surgery. So from that day I stuck to the rules so strictly. The day ticks around where it's time to go to Mexico. I leave my house at like 5 in the morning. Me and my sister, we drove to San Diego, and then like clockwork waited at the pylon for the driver to pick us up, and the driver pulls up and he was just, I had a smile on my face this whole video because I'm reminiscing and thinking about it, and I can't explain like how much of a good experience I had. The driver, his name was Remy, and he was just such a breath of fresh air. He was so fun. I rode up the front, and then there were other girls having surgery same day as me, or same within a few days of me. Prior to that, I had connected with them on Facebook, so we had made like a Sleeve Sisters Facebook group where we were chatting, so we got to know each other beforehand. So when we met each other, it felt like we were already friends, So the bus ride over to Tijuana was fun. I had the girls, my Sleeve Sisters with me, and like all their companions. Oh, and that's the other thing, you get to take a companion as well, and that's all included in the cost. So, they had their partners, their companions. I had my sister, and we were just having a good old laugh. Remy was so much fun, and we were singing, and it was just a ball. And then he took us and got our blood work done and all that. And then we checked into the hotel, which was beautiful. It's the Grand Hotel. It's a 5-star hotel. People think Tijuana is dirty and scary and everything, and it's absolutely not. I mean, don't get me wrong, there probably are parts like that, just like there are parts like that in every state and every city you go to. But where we stayed, it was beautiful. So yeah, my surgery was first up the next day after I had all my blood work and everything done. It was time for surgery. The next morning, I think I had to get up at 5 a.m. and the bus picked us up. We had to go to the welcome center because there's a welcome center in the hotel, and then your bus driver meets you, and I had a different bus driver that morning, and it was super early, but he was still really fun and, pretending to be a stripper, and, we were pretending to tip him. All this before surgery. Usually he would be like so nervous, but it was so much fun because, he's like, oh, Vegas girls, strippers, this, that, and we're like, yeah, trying to pretend to put dollar bills down his pants. In the meantime, like in an hour or so, I'm having surgery, but it was just so much fun. So I get to the hospital, I get my IV in, went in perfect, get my compression socks on. Oh, they were hard to get up because I got chunky thighs and chunky calves, so, but they were on, and then it was just kind of like you waited for a little bit, and then I got put into my hospital room, which at the time had 2 hospital beds, one for me and one for my sister. She got to stay with me the night. Can you believe that? Like, that was awesome. Nowhere in America that I know would have your companion stay with you. So I had my sister there with me, and we had a bathroom in our, it's like a little suite. We had a bathroom, and yeah, everyone just kept coming in, and I like, as you guys can obviously see, I love pink, I love Barbie, and I'm a bit over the top. and I think I had like on my Barbie slippers, and everything was pink, and all the hospital nurses were coming in going, oh, like a princess, like a princess. So I'm like, oh, you guys are so sweet. So everyone was just coming in saying hello. Everyone was so friendly. I'm like, I love this place. I can't believe I'm having surgery in like 20 minutes. And then a few people came in, to ask you this, that, and then a guy comes in and he just sits on the bed. I didn't know who it was. He sits on the bed and he starts talking. He says, oh, you girls are from Vegas? Yeah, we're from Vegas. What do you do? And we're just talking about Vegas. He says, I was in Vegas just the other day and I love it, this, that. We're just having a good old chat about Vegas. I still don't know who this guy is. I know it's not my surgeon. I know it's not Dr. Ortiz because I know what he looks like. I hadn't met him yet. And then he said to me, okay, Kaylee, you ready for surgery? And I was like, I guess, yeah. He's like, good, I'm Dr. Ortiz's right-hand man, so I will be doing the surgery with him. All this time I just thought it was, I didn't know who I thought it was, someone else coming to have a chat about Vegas. I didn't know. So yeah, he was the Dr. Ortiz's right-hand man. I wish I could remember his name, but I really can't, but he was so nice. And so by this time, I was nervous but so excited, And then they wheeled me into the OR, which was literally right next door to my room. They're like, I said, do I have to get in a wheelchair? They're like, yeah. So I get in the wheelchair and I said to my sister, see you in a bit, just definitely not what I thought it would be. I thought it'd be so scared. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Nah, it was so fun. It was so fun. So I get in there and then I'm laying on the OR and then that's where it's like, the nerves hit. You're having surgery, of course the nerves hit. I was mostly worried about the anesthetic. I'm like, what if I don't wake up from this? And what if it doesn't take? All the normal worries you get about anesthesia. So I lay on the table, and then I can remember them saying, telling other people, oh, she's Australian, but she's from Vegas. And I'm like, yeah, Vegas. I guess that was kind of like the running thing with Vegas. And then the anesthesiologist is next to me and he says, hi, I'm Michelangelo. And I was like, oh, hi, Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel. And we had a good chat. He said, I'm your anesthesiologist. And I said, okay, I'm actually really nervous about this. He goes, oh, don't be nervous. He's like, do you like tequila? And I'm like, oh, I don't really drink that much. It's like, well, it's just going to feel like you're drinking some tequila. And then I'm like, oh yeah, 1 tequila, 2 tequila, and before I could say 3 tequila, I was out. I was out like a light. And that was it. The next thing I remember is waking up in the recovery room, and I just remember having my hands on the side of the hospital bed. And as I'm trying to open my eyes, I hear a familiar voice, and it was Remy, the bus driver. He must have been walking through doing something, I don't really know, but I just remember seeing Remy and hearing his voice, and his voice is so unique, and it was just so, oh, I'm okay, that's Remy, I knew him, he's my best friend. And I'm like, oh, that's Remy, I'm good. And then I woke up and there was someone sitting next to me, I can't remember who it was, but they watch you recover. And the first thing I said was, I didn't die? They go, no, you didn't die, you're fine. And I'm like, okay, good. And then I remember them wheeling me in the hospital bed into my room, and I remember my sister being beside me saying, good job, sis. And I'm like, okay, good, I've made it, But I was just so tired, I couldn't wake up right away. So I remember being really, really cold, and I feeling pain in my shoulder, which I knew was going to happen because they bloat you with, gas. So you do feel gas pain. And then so I had a hot water bottle. So I said, give me my hot water bottle. So I put my hot water bottle on my shoulder. And I remember the room being really bright. And then I had these really loud, obnoxious pink sunglasses. I put my sunglasses on. So I had put my pink sunglasses on. I had my pink water bottle, and then I had my pink blanket because I was cold and I just wanted to sleep. And I have some photos of that. I'll figure out if I can post them, or if not, go over to my Instagram because I'll probably put them up there. And I felt a little bit nauseous, and so I had a little throw up thing, and I just fell asleep like that. And I think I probably had an hour or so sleep, and then once I actually woke up properly, I felt fine. I felt a little bit of it's uncomfortable, but it's not horrible. You get a drain because a lot of people won't put drains in, but my surgeon, Dr. Ortiz, he puts drains in just to make sure that there is no leakage, and if there is, they catch it before it happens, or before it gets too far. So a little bit of discomfort from the drain, a little bit of gas pain, but as soon as I woke up, I said, okay, get me out of this hospital gown, get me my pink robe on, have my pink robe, put my pink slippers back on, put pink earrings in, pink hair bow, and I said, let's walk the halls, you know, because you got to walk to get your gas out. So I just walked and I did my laps and I come back, and that night it was good. They just kept checking on me. I kept checking on my sleeve sisters, because by the end of the day we had all had it done, and then we were all doing laps. And I remember at one point there was a few of us that just kept burping, and it's like, oh, you can't get it out. So my sister, I said, girls, come in my room. So we had a few girls just hanging out on my hospital bed, and we were all sitting on the edge, and my sister was just sitting behind us, kind of like rubbing our backs and burping us all. Burping us all. Oh, and it was fun. Honestly, it was fun. And then the next morning, I did really well. They said, Kayla, you've done really well. If you want to go to the hotel, you can leave. I said, sure, why not? So I left for the hotel in the morning. Another bus driver took us to the hotel. I was just tired because I had obviously also worked a lot the week prior to take some time off. So I was just exhausted in general. So the next day, I think I just pretty much recovered in my room, just slept a lot. And then the day after that, they're like, hey, do you guys want to do a shopping tour? You can either go shopping the streets, or we'll take you to the beach, and we also take you to a pharmacy. And then I was like, shopping, say no more. Yeah, I'm there. So we did a shopping tour. We stopped at the pharmacy, and the pharmacy had it all set up for us, and they told us everything we're going to need aftercare, you know, for the wounds, for everything that the doctor says that you should take after, like omeprazole for your acid reflux so you don't get it, and just everything. So we had a whole presentation at the pharmacy, and then we all got a B12 shot. They were just giving them out, so everyone got a B12 shot. And then after that we went shopping, and then I brought an amazing Mexican hand-stitched dress. Oh, so beautiful. I still have it. And then I think that afternoon we went to the Welcome Center, which is kind of like the conference center, and Dr. Ortiz did a presentation about basically what to expect now post-sleeve, what you need to do, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And I was just so impressed. There was probably in the room, there would have been about like 20 or so of us, and he remembered everyone by name. He's like, Kayla, you had your surgery 2 days ago, blah, blah, blah. Jimmy, Jeff, blah. And I was like, how does he remember everyone's name? Wow, you know. And I had a notepad. My sister had the notepad, and she was writing things down. He said, any questions? And my sister said, yeah, I have a question. How come you see people that have had weight loss surgery and they don't lose a lot of weight, or they gain it back? Like, does your stomach stretch back out? How does that happen? And then he said, this has stuck with me every single day. My sister wrote it, and it's circled in my book, and it's actually sitting in my bathroom, and I look at it every day. As he said, 100% of failure is due to non-compliance. And that stuck with me. She goes, look at that, Kayla, and she circled it. Circle, circle, circle. And that, I was like, follow the rules. They have set me up for success. If I follow everything step by step that they've told me to do, there's no excuse. I cannot fail. I've lost weight in the past, and I gained it 10 times back. So this time, I ain't going back. This is a new life. I'm following the rules. I'm doing everything that they say. And like I said, my surgery was textbook perfect. My recovery was textbook perfect. I have had no issues whatsoever, because I have followed all the rules. The acid reflux, never got it. Dr. Ortiz says to have omeprazole for the first, I want to say, I think it was 5 months. I never had it in my life, but I took it every day, and I've not had it. So I've just been extremely lucky, and I think it's just because I complied. I just follow the rules, and I still do. I've never had to do a pouch reset, because guess what? I have never gone off the diet. I literally stick to it every day, and that's how I've lost almost 200 pounds. And now I, work out, and I do all the things that I should be doing, and I just love it. So yeah, with that being said, that was my experience with EOC. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I actually am going back with EOC to a different surgeon. His name is Dr. Omar Lazos, and he does all the skin removal. So I am so excited to do it all over again, and hopefully I get the same drivers. I want to see Remy again, and while I'm there, I'd love to give Dr. Ortiz a big hug. And everyone is just, they're like family. Oh, and not to mention, so I've been in the Facebook group after. They walk you through each week of recovery. So week 1, you get an email from the nurse, Cindy. She is amazing. She's the sweetest. If you have any questions, you just email her. She's always on the Facebook support group as well, and she's just like such an awesome cheerleader. She will email you each week, hi Kayla, week 1, this is what you need to do. Take before photos, take after photos. This is what you need to be, the liquids you need to be drinking. Here are some recipes. Week 2, hey, you've graduated to thicker liquids. This is, you know, week 3. And even to my friends and people that I know who have had surgery in Australia, I send them the instructions of recovery because it's so detailed. It gives you a shopping list. They literally set you up for success, and the support is amazing. They are like a family, and I cannot wait to go visit them again for my skin removal. I cannot say any better things about them. It was the best experience ever. Not only did I have a life-changing surgery, I had a vacation and I made lifelong friends. And I can't wait to go back and see everyone. So if anyone is considering weight loss surgery in Mexico and people are telling them that they're crazy, they told me I was crazy too, but look at me now. Hey, look at me now. But no, they told me I was crazy, and sometimes crazy is good. Because if I had had surgery in the States, it would not have been the same experience, and I probably would not have been so successful. So yeah, I just had the best time. I would do it all over again. And yeah, if anyone's considering it, do research on who you go through, but I'm not getting paid to say this is not sponsored, I just absolutely love them. I'd highly recommend checking out EOC. Find them on Facebook. If you need a coordinator, email Sheila at eoc.co, not .com, and she will help you get started, because if it hadn't been for her, I probably would have not even had the surgery, who knows. But anyway, so glad I did. If you stuck around this long, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!